Welcome back. Let's take a look at a different usage of HTML injection and what else can we do with it once we find it out. Well, let's take a look at a different example this time. So in the last video, we injected our HTML code in the user agent HTTP header field. And that is when we found out that it's possible to inject HTML code without having any user input field. We just intercept the request in our burp suite and we injected the HTML code in our user agent field. Now let's take a look at another example. So navigate once again to OWASP Mutil-Day2. Let's go to the HTML injection and let's try this one. HTML injection via cookie injection. That is the one that we haven't tried yet. So let's go on capture data page and let's take a look at this page. So once again, we don't really have any user input field that we can type our HTML code in. But we do get this printed out. And if we take a look at a little bit closer to here, we'll have this data or this string written on this page. Now, what does this look like? Well, it looks like a cookie value. As we can see, PHP session ID, and then we get the value right here. So could it be that our cookie value reflects on this page? Well, we already know how we can check that. We can simply just intercept the request inside of the burp suite. So let's reload the page, and here we get the request. Here is the PHP session ID. And let's compare these values right here. And that's pretty much it. This is getting reflected on this page. So we already know how we will go about doing this. We would just inject our HTML code. We would reflect the HTML code on the page and we would conclude that the page is vulnerable. But let's try to inject something else than just HTML headers. Let's try to redirect this page to google.com with the help of HTML code. So how we can do that? Well, we can write this code. Let me just open Nano real quick. HTML redirect code.txt. Code.txt. And we are going to write this code. So open tags meta http-equiv equals open double quotes refresh close double quotes. Then let's add space content equals 5, and we're going to explain this in just a second. It's rather simple. Then semicolon, and then URL equals https://www.google.com. Close double quotes and close the HTML tags. So what are we doing right here? Well, first of all, let me just delete these two dots. We don't need two of them. One is just enough. And what this code does is it refreshes the page where we inject this code and redirects it to google.com. And this content equals 5 is simply just the amount of seconds that it's going to wait before it redirects the page. If we write 5, it will wait for 5 seconds and then it will redirect the page. If we set right here 1 or 0, it will redirect it straight away. So let's give it a try. Instead of injecting HTML header size 1, like we did in the previous video, let's try to inject this under the cookie value inside of our HTTP request. And here it is. Okay, let's forward this. And let's turn off the intercept. Navigate right here, and in 5 seconds, this page should get redirected to google.com. Here it is. We didn't type anything. It redirected automatically due to our code being processed as an HTML. Now, if you want to, you can do this. Let me just go back via cookie injection, capture data. Let's intercept the request and let's refresh the page. You can also do this straight away. You don't need to wait for 5 seconds in order to redirect the page. All you have to do is navigate to the content and change it to 0. Then forward the request or turn off the intercept, go back, and it will get redirected straight away. How cool is that? Okay, so this was another tag that we could have done with HTML injection. We can simply just redirect the page. And we also saw another way that we can perform HTML injection, which is through the cookie value. We changed the cookie value with the HTML code and it got executed because it got reflected on our page. Awesome. So in the next video, we're going to take a look at another example of HTML injection, and then in a video or two, we're about to move on to the next, more serious and dangerous vulnerability. See you in the next lecture.